Welcome to India Back to Bharat channel. I'm Rajil Das Kamath, sharing you some thoughts for me and you to take this forward, some thought processes forward. Uh, and this is, as the channel says, it is the concept of India. It's the same place we are talking about, but India and thinking like Bharat. We all thinking like we are from Bharat and less from India. It's all, though it's the same place, there's a difference in the value systems in the present India and the old Bharat we had. So this earnest attempt is to send you some thoughts which may help you and I build a better future for our youngsters and the whole world, I would mean. Uh, why we need to give importance for this topic? You know, this world is in a war turmoil. As you know, it's everywhere war happening. Though we are seeing, news about Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Gaza right now. But there is, as such, about 50 skirmishes going on around the world, including our dating with Pakistan, India, and all these things. Though we are countries just about 75 years back, 75, no, maybe more than that. Right now we are warring, and similarly, lots of warring tribes going on, and then maybe we have to think as a whole world. We have to think why on a macro level, why these skirmishes, hatred, hates, killings, and all these things. Is there a chance? Can we give a chance for peace to exist? And this is where I thought, we jointly will have some thought exchanges, information exchanges, which may help all of us to have a better life. I know it's thinking the wider idea is quite impossible, as you may seem, but maybe we can give our thoughts, our two paisa to it. That's what I say. I think, it's a duty of us who believe in this kind of Vasudeva Kudumbakam to inculcate our values for a solution to problems created by this kind of sophisticated world, which includes you and me. We call ourselves developed people, and then so many destructive things going on. The global warming and all these things attributed to the development of technological and all types of production, productive developments of that humankind has created. While I'm going to start my talks, I request your wholehearted support with constructive criticism, fact corrections. And I know I'm never say that I'm a know-all. The more I know about things, I come to know that I know nothing about this world. That is the way the information explosion is happening. So my just request is to together let us build a better world. Let us see, it's a humble attempt. Let us see how we all can prosper and progress with some thought process which I am exchanging with you. Okay, so to start uh, with, I just want to I just want to tell you how this Bharat evolved. See, when we are talking about India back to Bharat, we need to know what was Bharat before and what is it now, of course. And for that case, I'm just doing, and I'm just, for my sole purpose, I'm just classifying this to some prehistory time. No, please don't argue with me that, as per Wikipedia, this is not the time for prehistory, ancient history. This is solely for classification of, for exchanging information which is very recent history. I would call this 50,000 or to 80,000 BC is a recent history, considering the age of the what do you call globe or our Earth. it's billions of years old. And that way, when you think of Homo erectus and all, this 50,000, 80,000, when the Homo sapiens became thinking humans, it's a small history. It's a very, very short history, I would say. Though we feel, 50,000 is a very, very long history, it would seem, but for the convenience of what is related to Bharat, I'm just classifying it to prehistory, ancient history. So prehistory would be something like 50,000 to 80,000 BC. And ancient history, I repeat, this may not be the ancient history times mentioned in other history books or something. This is only to inform you what was Bharat in these years over there. Because before that, it was the concept of this Bharat was not much there, but only but during this time that the Bharat or the idea of Bharat took shape and all these things. So I'm just classifying this into prehistory, ancient history, and the current history. Current history starts with AD. Okay, so what I would say is the prehistory is 50,000 to 80,000 BC. Ancient history is what you call 50,000 to 5,500 or till this thing now, till AD, and then current history, how it's called. So when you say current history, it is 2,000 years old. Yeah, when compared to the long years that the earth and the development of man has taken place, these are all current history, I would say. So that's why I said this is my specific terms. Okay, in the interest of your time, I will keep my talk as short as possible. So I'm not going into the current history. I'm only going to the prehistory and ancient history times, when what happened in the Indian subcontinent region. Because it is not just the Indus Valley civilization and all those things, because India has a history with relation to human beings right from 50 to 80,000 BC. Before that, of course, the script was not there. Even this 50,000 to 80,000 BC, there will be contentions that this is not right. This is because we don't have a very clear understanding of it all depends on all these archaeologists and historians speaking. So there are different schools of thoughts, but this is a popular thoughts, a popular way of thinking, or what you call development of history that I'm going to talk to you, which is relevant to Indian subcontinent. That is why we should know what was Bharat in the 10,000 BC, in 50,000 BC, and then how the system and the values developed, and then only you will come to know why the values of this region stood the test of time, and still now the values are there, but now because of some invasions and colonization, and the values have been systematically changed for convenience, of course. So I'm just going into the these three times to start with. This is the great migration from Africa. This is on the left. What I'm saying is on the left. Okay. On the left, the diagram shows that this is the most popular thinking of human migration in the old times. When the Homo erectus is not just we are becoming human being, and then then getting some thinking ability, and then we will slowly programs to today's intelligent persons like you. And so this is the great migration from Africa. So it says life or human beings, the Homo erectus, started in Africa, East Africa, and mostly East Africa, and then the whole of Africa. There were human tribes developing in the other parts of the world, but mostly the migrations happened this way. That is what I understand. See, as I said, I will need your constructive criticisms, fact corrections, everything, but that should be corroborated with evidence, with proof. Otherwise, simply hearing here and there will not be of much help. So uh, uh, this is a migration. As you can see, the earlier human beings started migrating. They got developed in Africa. They moved east to the Indian subcontinent, as you can see very correctly. And then in Indian subcontinent, they thrived. And as per a paper in 2020, which suggests that Homo erectus, which is not just developed a human being from the earlier stage to human being, they got transformed to Homo sapiens, who are thinking humans, in the Indian region, and then they started spreading. Now you may no, we used to talk in when we are young that India is population is so strong, and why this is so, what do you call it, this is so populous in India, China, this area is so populous, was because we don't do anything else but what do you call it, reproduction or something like that. But right now when we talk like this, because India was a very great land for humans to live, fertile and otherwise. It's the tropical climate and all such things was contributing to people moving to India. And so that could be a reason that this area is very populous. That is my conclusion. You can correct me. So from 50,000 or old times itself, India, this area was a very populous area, and then from there we migrated to Europe and Oceania, everywhere. So there are saying that as you can see that those times are the continents were close or attached, and later they got separated. That some history. And even in the Antarctica, where we see ice now, that may have been inhabitable. There is in seventh canto of Valmiki Ramayana, whether you believe such, people call it myths, but then it's a story otherwise. So in Valmiki Ramayana, Uttara Kand, it says Ravana went to Yamapuri. Yamapuri is the far south of Earth, which is now Antarctica. So if it was so icy, and that is Yamapuri is, it's Yama is the god of death, and that's why we generally, when you in our Indian traditional system, when you die, the head is kept, only that time the head is kept to the south, because it's the place of Yama. And that time Ravana went to Yamapuri, which was the far south. Now you may say, though, it's an ice cold place where how can people live there? It's of course Yama's place. But no, there is a phenomenon which was recently found out, which is called EZD. It is Earth crust displacement. Something like, earlier the present Antarctica was not at the south. Actually, Earth crust displacement is something like orange and the skin. The orange stays and the skin moves. Something like the Earth, the periphery of Earth moves around its core, like that. So it can be like Antarctica moved to some other place, and the present place was somewhere else. And because of this Earth crust displacement, the present Antarctica in the far south is ice. Is all ice, as not habitable. So all those things there. Then let us move to the next. See, on the right we have seen the recent African. This is taken from Wikipedia. So throughout this information exchange, I may be quoting data which you may be able to easily search in Google or somewhere, but we don't rely fully on Wikipedia or any other Western media, because sometimes it gets biased. No, many times it gets biased. Even when I'm talking to you, there is always a bias based on my link or my leaning to some kind of thinking and all these things. Of course, that is there with you, me, anywhere. So, but in some cases, Wikipedia, this is an excerpt from Wikipedia, you can search and find. The recent African origin paradigm suggests that the anatomically modern humans outside of Africa descend from a population of Homo sapiens migrating from East Africa, roughly 70 to 50,000 years ago, and spreading along the southern coast of Asia and to Oceania by about 50,000. This is actually taken from Wikipedia. And these images also all got from searches. But in all the cases, we may not be sticking to what is given in Wikipedia, of course, because there will be other schools of thoughts, like in research happening in this place or in the East, may not come in the resources of the West sometimes, because it happens like that. So let us go to the 50,000 BC, where according to our researchers, actually the Vedas, Upanishads, that's why I told you about the great migrations, because the story of Indian habitation starts from there. And that is, see, when you think of the years, you will come to know that, yeah, the migration and then the development of what you call the progress of our lineage, like Vedas, Upanishads, Agamas, etc., happening 50,000 plus BC. That happened first. Though you know that Vedas and all were Shruti, because writing was became popular later only. So during the earlier stages of Vedas and Upanishads and all these things, they were transferred to the next generation through Shruti. Shruti means from voice. You hear it and transfer it to the next and next generations, and later it was documented. Documentation was not very I don't know how they were able to document, I don't know, but it was taught as it was transferred as Shruti. It is very clear in our records. And then 50,000 to 12,000 BC, the man progressed and the kingdoms started coming. Earlier it would have been nomads, and then some organized kingdoms, territory-based kingdoms started coming. And those were the times when 12,000 BC Ramayana happened. Whether it's myth or a story or whatever it is, there is proof that the happenings, most of the happenings occurred really. Then whether if you want to contend that Ramayana didn't take place at all, that would be a very, very misnomer, I believe. And so Ramayana happened in 12,000 BC. That is the ancient history I'm talking about. And then Mahabharata happened in 5,500 BC. There is enough evidence that there is a huge chunk of people died, males died in that era. Right now I'm not getting that graph or something. That is because of a huge war taking place, one of the biggest wars taking place in the world during that time. So Mahabharata happened in 5,500. And then see the progress of the Indian civilization and people's those who stayed that time, how their knowledge progressed is one way. One simple example of that is this. This is evolution. See, Darwin's evolution theory, which came in the late 1900, I think, right? 19th century, late 19th century. It shows the flow like earlier the what do you call life started in the sea or in the water, and then kind of amphibians from the water people started going to land, and then we had some primitive kind of animals, and then it is moving to kind of apes, and then short human beings. It's all proved. And then rough human beings, and then civilized man coming with bow and arrow and all. Darwin's evolution theory, I think it is in 1900, 1859 or something like that. I see, I'm very bad at remembering the years, but it was not very, very old finding. While the same Darwin's theory is very much in our records in the form of the Dashavatara. I'm not trying to, what do you call, going to be in the religious side. What I'm saying is the know-how, the knowledge we had, whether, it is, I'm not connecting with it. It is very, very clear that the Dashavatara, the concept of the Dashavatara existed long, long years back. Because as I said, 12,000 BC is when Ramayana happened. That is Lord Ram, which is the last in this line, this Lord Ram. So the Dashavatara concept was there. But in maybe 20,000, no, it should be before that, 30,000, 40,000 BC. So such a old this thing is. Now how can this much similarity come otherwise? So this is a development of man. Then after Rama was a righteous man. Then after that, Krishna was slightly corrupt, a shrewd human being, because it reflects the society, progress of the society, or the development of the society in that way. So these kinds of immense knowledge was there during our ancient times. So it is not just the present India that we are talking about. It is the India has huge treasure of heritage, lots of values and ways of living, fantastic ways of living we had. And so we need to. And one more thing I can tell you that Galileo, or in the below also I'm telling the earliest. It was taken from Wikipedia, the text. The earliest documented mention of the concept of spherical Earth dates back in the 5th century BC or something. But as you can see in the third avatar of even before that, but even in the third avatar of Vishnu, as they say. The earth which the Varaha recovers in is in spherical form. So the West found earth is spherical very recently. That's what I'm saying. These are very, very recent times. 5th century BC, while we found out, our people could figure out that the earth is round in shape tens of thousands of years back. So this is the kind of knowledge we had. But then later invasions and army and all these things we had, we were not focusing on that. That led to invasions. And then, what happened. I'm not going in deep into that in this episode because, it's already getting, long. The episode is getting long. Okay. And the Indus Valley civilization that this is also excerpt from Wikipedia. Indus Valley civilization was roughly contemporary with the other riverine civilizations like ancient Egypt, China, Euphrates, and Mesopotamia. All these civilizations are, as of now, almost no more. But for this Indian civilization, which survived all through these years in spite of deliberate attempts to eradicate our civilizations through invasion and resulting conversions and all these things. But still, our civilization has stood the test of time. While you can see all those civilizations during that time, there was a Persian civilization, Zoroastrianism, all the civilizations are no more. I can say no more, but maybe in some very, very small pockets. But here it is very prevalent. So this is the old, that is, I'm not saying the current history. I will come in a new episode. But this is the old history, history of India. So where India had a long heritage, very, very good heritage time. And so we will move to the current era, current history in our next episodes. I think, thank you so much for listening. And as I said, please do send me suggestions, improvements, and corrections, criticisms, everything. Yeah, we both can develop. You and I can develop only through charchas or debates or whatever it is. But please send, just don't send anything just like that from hearsay. But we should have real proofs. And what I'm saying is, everything which I told, you can negate them, you can object them, because there will be other schools of thoughts. We cannot follow all schools of thought. So I'm looking at whatever I could go through, and then I'm coming out with conclusions and inferences. Thank you so much. If you like this, please encourage me by going for the bell button and subscribing this channel. I'll come back to you later. And please do share this with others of like-minded people who may like this kind of thought processes going on. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.